I'll do it right at the very start. I'll do this.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, hello.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us again. I'm really sorry about all the hiccups and the gremlins that we've had. What we're doing is just a very short video for you, just to remind you of the goodies that we have got on Elevenses with Hels. It's nearly 12s with Hels, but it'll be whatever time it is that you're watching it, because we're actually going to upload this onto the YouTube channel for you to view later. So, as I said, thank you for joining me. I'm really sorry that there's no interaction on this particular video, but hopefully you'll be able to get a little bit of inspiration from it. So, housekeeping to start off with. If you would like to place an order, head on over to our website. It is www.creativecraftingworld.co.uk. Once you're on the website, you're going to be able to find a little tab that says Creative Crafting World TV. Click on that, and then that's going to bring up all the goodies that we've got on the show. So it's a dedicated page for you there, as you can see. So what we've got today, our star of the show, is the Paper Tree Summer Journey collection, consisting of 4 pads. You've got the decorative papers, the die cut collection, the inserts, and also your paper solids. So that means you've got everything that you need for your card making and your home decor. Now, normally the Paper Tree collection would be £29.96. Today we have it on a really cool deal. It's £12.50. If you are in our club and you've got your 10% discount, it works out at £11.25 for all 4 pads. Now, speaking of the club, if you're not already a member, then on our website you'll see that it is £10 a year to join. You will get a free gift when you join, and you'll then be entitled to 10% discount off all of the goodies that we've got on our website. We run a gem system, so the more you spend, the more you will save in the long run, because you'll accrue gems, and then you'll get up to a 20% discount. Postage and packing is free on all orders over £25, so if you do fancy a little crafty spend, your postage and packing would be free. Then we've also got our usual payment options, so you've got your PayPal, your credit and debit card, and also we have Klarna as an option. So if there is something that tickles your fancy, then have a look at all the terms and conditions on our website for that. And finally, please do hit subscribe to our YouTube channel here, and also tap that little bell icon. It means that every time we go live, you will be reminded. You'll get a little notification through on your device. So we've been uploading videos. I'm saying we, that's the royal we. Our Kevin has been uploading educational content for you. So there's different videos. So do have a little mooch around the channel at your leisure. So, shall we have a little look through all of the beautiful papers that we've got in this collection? I'm going to start off with the decorative paper pad, and all of these as well are available individually. So as part of the collection, it's £11.25 today in the club. If you are wanting the decorative papers on their own, they work out at £4 today, normally £7.99. So 16 sheets of A4, 150 GSM, uncoated, starting off with this beautiful sky background. So you've got that beautiful London blue with the clouds. And then a particular favourite of mine, you've got this lovely camper van, and you've also got your little scooters on there as well. Then this gorgeous orange background with the florals. And then the next one is a really delicate blue with some little ditzy blossoms. Then a scribbled background with your little dots there in that lovely bright pink. And then this is just so cute. I'm going to hold this up to the camera so you can have a proper look at it. Look, you've got dogs and balloons. So you've got the dogs that have just decided to be a little bit cheeky. They've tied balloons around themselves, and then they're going off flying. So if dogs could fly, this is what they'd look like. So there you've got a sausage dog, you've got little Westie, and you've got, he looks a little bit like a Doberman. So that is the page with the doggies. And then this one, I'm also going to hold this up as well, because you know those lovely white pens that you can get? It actually looks like it's been scribbled, like scribble circles with a white pen. It's actually got some texture in there as well. Love this as a background. And then next we have got this gorgeous lime green with your little 3 random dots, and then back to the beginning. So 2 sheets of each, 8 designs, and of course, as I always say, check out your packaging because there's always extras to be had on the packaging. So that's your decorative papers. Next up, I'm going to show you the die cut toppers. So again, these are available as part of the collection, which would be $11.25 in the club. And also, these are individually £4. Let's have a look. 16 sheets. Again, this is uncoated, single-sided, 300 GSM with these. And when I say die cut toppers, what I mean is that everything has just been kiss cut all the way around, apart from just a few little paper pips that just hold those in place. So straight away on this one, you've got a 6x6 card front, add a little sentiment. You've also got little extras there that you could be cutting out to use as embellishments. So you've got 2 of those. Then you have got another set of fronts to go on 6x6 cards. How about upgrading it to an 8x8? Have that as your main focal image and then bring in some of those lovely papers. You've also got all of your extra toppers there as well. You've got the little dog there holding onto the kite, and you've got the ice lollies, which is lovely. Then you've got your shapes. So your first 2 here are these lovely cartoon shape with the circle in the middle, with the little dicky birds and the dogs and the camper, and of course your summer treats. You've also got your card strips there as well for borders. Then next we've got the square toppers. These are 8 centimetres squared. So you can then use your Paper Boutique nesting dies or doily die centres in the square shape to make your mats if you want. You've also got extra sentiments, special someone, thinking of you, and happy birthday. And this one I absolutely love with this bird. He actually looks like he's zooming along, and he says, thanks for being someone special. Then next you've got your label shapes. So here, even more die cut toppers, and those beautiful colours. You can really see all of the imagery is matching right the way through. You've got your little dogs there going for a little fly, and he's chasing a little butterfly. Then more card fronts. So another one that's going to fit onto a 5x5 and larger card. And you'll see these beautiful backgrounds as well that you've got on here, which aren't in the paper collection. Then you've got your scalloped edges with the die cuts. You see how many you've got in here? There's loads. I don't know how many in total there are. There might be a list somewhere. And then finally, you've got your circles. And again, these are sized perfectly to go with your nesting dies and also your Paper Boutique doily dies. So beautiful imagery, gorgeous colours, perfect for this time of year because it's going to get really warm over the weekend and early next week. Then next we've got the insert collection. So this really is a full-on kit. It's going to cover every aspect of your crafting. So we've got 16 sheets here, A4 again. This is 120 GSM uncoated, and we'll start off with this one. So you've got that lovely background there with the little scribble circles. Can you see how these have been put together? And then of course you've got those little icy treats. Then you've got the fabulous scooter. You could be a girl about town on that. Then this one is particularly pretty, and the area in the middle means that if you want to bob that through your printer, print your own sentiment onto it, then you can do, but also you could bring your stamps into it. You can ink on it because of course it is uncoated. Then our next one with the beautiful London blue in the background, and you'll see, as we've got in the papers, that everything has been resized. Then you've got this beauty. I would absolutely love to own one of these. Can you imagine the fun that you could have? Then our little dog's going for a walk, and little dog's flying along there. He's got his kite, and they're just sailing along in the summer breeze. And then more of a beautiful imagery there with the florals making that gorgeous cartouche. Now you'll notice that none of the ink has been diluted, so these are perfect for the front of your cards as well. And then look at him having a little chat with his little bird friend. I'd love to know what they're saying. And then you've got that, God, look at that yellow. It's such a gorgeous sunshiny colour, again with those lovely icy treats. And then we're back to the beginning. So 16 sheets, 8 designs, you've got 2 of each on that. And individually, this is £3 in the club. So if you do fancy topping up the collection, then you can do that. Then finally, we've got the Essential Card Collection. This is one where I will always buy a second one. You've got 16 sheets here, 200 GSM, uncoated, A4 again in size. Let me give this a flick through. You've got the orange, that gorgeous yellow, the purple, that scorching pink, the soft pink, the sky blue, and then the soft blue. And you have got all of these uncoated cards to be playing with. Individually, if you do want to add a second one into your basket, then your essential card is just £4. That's £4 for 16 sheets. But the best way to actually grab this collection and all 4 of these is to buy it all for just £11.25 today if you're in our club. Don't forget you can join the club by just having a little look on the website. £10 a year to join, and we also send you a £10 birthday voucher, so don't forget to pop your details in when you do join the club. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is a nice little demo for you. So here's something that I prepared earlier, and I'm using one of our lovely 6x6 cards, which are also on a special offer today. So if you are after some card blanks, do check out our page on the website. You'll be able to grab those. So 6x6 card, I'm going to open it up. And what I've done is taken one of those inserts. Can you see I've just cut that down? So when it's 6x6, it's usually about 15 centimetres squared. So I'm now moving to centimetres, and this is 14.5 centimetres square. Look at these two having a little chat. It's just so cute. And then one little bit of tape across the top. You don't need to put tape all the way around, because I actually think that it looks quite classy when this is left loose leaf. And I've also got a sentiment here. So this is one of those die cut toppers. Now when you die cut them, you'll find you've got little paper pips that are just left on the edges. So snip in with your scissors and it'll neaten it up. Can you see how they're just snipping away? Like so. And then a little bit of tape just onto the back of that, so it's secured in place. And that will be the centre of my card completed. So we've got a thinking of you on there. So now moving on to the front of the card, I've got one of those die cut toppers. So remember what I was saying about this fits perfectly for the front of your card. You don't have to use all the elements if you don't want to, but what I'm going to do is show you how I use them. So hold it flat and then just lift up, and what you're doing is actually releasing those little paper pips that are just holding everything in place, like so. So we'll just go in. You can go in with your scissors as well. If you don't like pulling at them, you can actually snip as well, and that actually stops you from having to snip off the paper pips. So if you want a bit of a quicker way to do it, you can do this. So I'm just going to line up there and then just snip along, and again all the way up there, and that's now come out. Now I could leave that as is if I wanted to, but we've got another layer in there. So what I want to do with this one is go in again. So we'll just start to release him out of the way. I'm going to go from underneath actually, because that's probably going to be easier for you to see. There we go. And then snip around the corner, because there's that little pip there holding it in place. Can you see how easy it is just to release them? And this is 300 GSM cards, so it's a lovely weight for a topper. And this size in particular, this would look fabulous. What if you did an exploding box? Do you remember a few weeks ago we had the linen card show? If you didn't see it, then do check back for previous shows. It was a 12 by 12 linen card offer that we'd got, and I actually made a little exploding box on there. I think these toppers would be perfect on that. And then what I'm going to do is come in again and we'll just remove these out. So just for a little bit of a wiggle there, I just want to get rid of this centre one. So don't actually want to use this. So we'll just give that a little wiggle just to release that off. We'll get those paper pips removed once it's done. And then that's been a little bit obstinate. It doesn't want to come away. There it is. So if you found that it hasn't quite chomped through when it was cut, just go in with your scissors because you've got that line to follow there as well. So we'll go in and we'll just give that a little snip down like so. Okay, and then there's that little fluffy bit there, we'll just remove that. And then of course I want the paper pips removing from the outside, so I'm just going to snip, snip, snip all the way around just to get those off. So it looks like nice and neat. It's just those little finishing touches that you want to be concentrating on. Okay, now you've also got corners here as well if you want to use these, so you can literally just pop these out and use these on your card front. So if I show you roughly what these are going to look like. So this will go, he was that way, wasn't he? And that one. Then you've also got your corners, so you can fit your corners in like that. However, what I want to do with this is introduce another little element as well. So I've got some of that glorious pink card. Look at this, it's such a beautiful colour. I actually think it might even still be in my wardrobe, a cardigan in that colour. And hot colours at this time of year are just perfect, aren't they? So there we go, 14.5 centimetres squared there with that coloured cardstock. And then I've taken some of the decorative paper, which is in that same design. Look. Because I know that the designer said that these go together. So I'm just going to use paper instead of those little corners. And then what I'm going to do is make a little background for this. So I want it to be big enough that when I pop that on around it, it's actually going to look like it's got pink behind. So all I need to do is just put a little mark there, and then I can go in with my paper trimmer and cut this, so it's going to look perfect. This is the cool thing about having kits like this. Everything is all thought out for you. You don't have to worry if everything matches, because look, the pink there, that little pink design matches beautifully with that. So now just a little bit of tape on the back of that topper, and we'll place him on there like so, and then I'm going to stick that down. Now if I went in with my tape, it'd be all over the back, so what I'm actually going to do is just use a little bit of wet glue just along the edges, and that will just make sure that I've not overglued it and it's going to hold it in place. So we've got that one like that, and also it gives me wiggle time as well. So let's pick this up, give it a little wiggle so that's in the right space and it's nice and equal all the way around. I've got dries clear, dries matte glue, which is good because then if you do overglue it, it's not going to show up. So that is looking pretty cool, isn't it? Just give it another little wiggle and then press it down nice and firmly. Then that can go into the middle of my card. Now I want to use some 3D foam purely because I want this to have a little bit of lift. So I'm creating some dimension on this. So again, just add your 3D foams. You could use glue gel if you want. I always find if you're wanting something to stay completely flat, then use your 3D foam. If you want it to have a bit of a dome, then glue gel is your best bet for dimensional adhesive. So we'll stick that one on there. Do you know what? I've got a little fluffy bit there, which I'm just going to go in and snip with my scissors before I commit to stick. And we'll lay him on there like so. Now I've got a couple of sentiments here which I've punched out from the die cut toppers. So I've got sending you best wishes. I've also got have a great day. So it's which one shall I use? Or shall I use both of them? You see how this all works together? It's just fantastic, isn't it, how everything works? And the other thing you can do as well is cut it down a little bit. So that is just that smidge larger than I want it to be. So what I can do is just go in with my trimmer and go snip, snip. So I've now made it from a square into a rectangle. And again, I'm just going to go in with my scissors, just tidy up any of the little paper pips that are still existing. And that's much better. It just needed that little, just a couple of millimetres taken off it. Right, now another top tip for you. This is on 3D foam, so if I stuck 3D foam all the way over the back of that, let me just bob that there, can you see it'd be wonky? Because it'd be double thickness on this bit. So my top tip to you is line it up, just place it on one side, and then the bit that's going to stick, go in with a little bit of tape or glue, and that's going to hold it in place. And now can you see it's all the same level? It's just so cool. So I've also got another one of my toppers, and this is the one with those cheeky little birds. And what I want to do with this is actually cut them out, because I would like my little birdies in on this scene. So there's Rover off on his little flying mission, but of course he's not on his own because he's being joined by his little wee birdie friends. So we'll just go in and snippy snippy around the edge like so. So there's one, and he's going to be going that way. And there's my little pink one. And again, when you're doing your fussy cutting, move the card rather than moving your scissors. It makes it so much easier for you. Can you see? I'll just give that a little wiggle, and we'll come around there like so. Now what I'm going to do with these is just give them a little curve, because I want these to have a little bit of dimension. So that's one, and then just using my finger and the heat from my thumb just to stretch those paper fibres. And I've got some glue gel in a syringe so it's easily decanted. Then that one can go on there, and that one can go there. So they're just having a little flap around. And then finally, a little bit of bling on this one, I think. And the cool thing about having these frames is you can actually just add a few little gems along them. I love the little narrow frames. They're really, really useful. So as ever, when I'm adding sticky back gems, I always add that little bit of extra glue just so they don't go wiggle. Because if you're posting this, the rollers that the envelopes go through are quite tough. And anything, when you've got little gems and stuff, they do tend to ping. And of course, you want your recipient to receive the card as you intended it to look. So we'll just stick those on, make sure they're stuck down nicely. And I think that's it. The other thing you could do as well is get a little bit of white pen and maybe go in and draw on the balloon, give the balloon a little bit of light, or just a little dab of glossy accents if you wanted to. Of course, you can use your glitter glues as well. But that is my first demo. So this collection, it's Summer Journey from the Paper Tree. Beautiful A4 collection of papers and toppers and inserts and solid colours. If you would like to buy this today, head on over to the website. It's creativecraftingworld.co.uk. When you're on the website, you'll see there's a little purple tab. Click on that. It's going to take you to the page where all of the goodies are. Now, while you are there, also have another look at the other stuff that we've got, because I've not even told you about Linda's Black Card. Now, of course, this stuff is stuff of legend, and normally for 100 sheets of 200 GSM beautiful black card, it's normally £17.99. Now, while you're on the website, have a little mooch, because we have got a really special deal on at the moment where you don't just get one set, you get two sets. So 2 packs of 100 card, 200 GSM black card, £14.99. Now that's a really special offer. I'm not sure how long that's going to be on, so don't dilly-dally. If you're only wanting one, then on the Creative Crafting World YouTube page, it is £10 for one set. So it's up to you, but I'd stock up and get 2. So, and don't forget, it's only £17.99. So you're paying $14.99 for 2. And of course, if you are in the club, that will work out cheaper. I'm not doing maths because I'm standing up. I'm lifting this up as well, and it's really heavy. This is colloquially known as the brick. So 250 sheets of 250 GSM. Beautiful, smooth, bright white card. My go-to card for die cutting, stamping. I use it with my distress inks, and I also use it with my alcohol markers. And normally, you know, you're going to need 2 different types of card for that. So one type of card that you're going to be able to use your distress inks and water and paint and stuff, and the other you're going to need for your alcohol markers. Not so with this, because it doesn't drink the ink. Now normally this would be $24.99, which is a cracking price for all that card. Today it is just £15. So if you are interested in stocking up on this, then add that to your basket as well. And just think, if you've added that and the collection, it's going to take you over £25, which means your postage will be free, and that is quite hefty. You see, it made a noise. A big noise. Next, I've also got the Craft Lion Brown for you. So a beautiful smooth card, I say it every time. It's my favourite because it is so smooth. Not only is it a glorious, beautiful feline on the front, it's also perfect for die cutting. You can use it in your electronic cutting machines, and also because it's so smooth, you can stamp on it. So try, if you've got this, try stamp and then add white embossing powder. It looks beautiful and you get all of that detail there. So normally your Craft Lion Brown is going to be $7.99. On very special offer today, it is £5. You've got 50 sheets of 280 GSM. So that's like construction weight there as well. And then finally, if you want to add a little bit more colour into your life, we've got the Woodstock, which is a carbon balanced card. So we are thinking about the environment with this. Normally your Woodstock is $12.99 and today it is $7.79. I'm just going to give you a quick flick through. I think this would go perfectly with the kit that we're showing you today, because you've got the yellows there, you've got that gorgeous blue. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to interrupt myself and I'm going to grab this so you can actually see how well that matches together. Isn't that just fabulous? So if you've not got the Woodstock and you do fancy a little bit of coloured card, then have a think about getting this one. Let me show you the rest. You've got that lime green. You see, I told you, this goes perfectly with Summer Journey. You've got that gorgeous grey and the mint, and you've also got my favourite teal colour. I haven't found another card in that colour that I like as much. 225 GSM, you've got 45 sheets, 15 colours and 3 of each. And as I said, this is normally $12.99 and today it is $7.79. So let's have a little tidy up, and then what I'm going to do is show you a very quick flick through the paper collection, and then I want to get another demo in before we finish filming. So decorative papers, I'm going to hold them up for you, so I'm just going to flick through and you'll see you've got that lovely skyscape. So you've got the clouds, you've got the camper van, that gorgeous orange, look at that, it's so glorious, and the florals and the dots and the little dogs that are going flying and the scribbles, and of course that beautiful lime green. So 16 sheets in there, 2 of each of 8 designs, 150 GSM. Then, as I showed you, the die cut collection, now I've been using this a lot, and you've got so many cards that you can make here. So straight away, that's what, 4 cards, 5. Even if you didn't want to use any of the other stuff, you can just cut into those, add them to the front of your card, maybe add a little bit of decorative paper, and there you go. So that is your die cut collection. And again, 16 sheets, you've got 2 of each, 300 GSM in there. And then the inserts. So again, 16 sheets, 120 GSM. Perfect if you want to add this through your printer, so you can add your own sentiments to it. Look at those two, they're just, oh, look at that. It's fabulous, little scooter. And of course, where's those little dogs that there they are, look at them. They're going off flying, he's flying a kite. uncoated, so you can stamp on it, you can add your inks to it, and of course there's no dilution of the colours throughout this collection, so on your inserts it means you can use them as outserts, as I like to call them. And then the final component of this collection is your card. So look at these beautiful colours that we've got here, ranging from orange, yellow, purple, pink, a paler pink, sky blue, dark blue, and then that lime green, which is gorgeous. Again, uncoated, 200 GSM, all available individually. So just very quickly, individually, decorative paper is £4 in the club, and no, £4 today in the club. It will be £3.60. Oh, get me doing maths when I'm standing up. Ant's just looked at me going, oh, she's doing maths. The inserts will be £3, the essential card will be £4, and the die cuts are £4. And of course, if you do want the whole collection, it's £12.50, £11.25 in the club. So I'm going to do one more demo here. So let me grab my little bag of goodies. And as ever, I do like to be prepped. Plus the fact it gives me a chance to have a little crafty play, doesn't it? So we'll just move all of that out of the way. You see I'm so messy. I'm being untidy today. I put my specs on so I can see what I'm doing, and I'll turn it the right way up. So we'll just move all of these components out of the way. There we go. And I've got, where is it? There it is. I knew there was something to go in the middle. There we are. So this is one of our 5x7 landscape cards, but it opens up that way because I want it as a tent fold. And as ever, one little bit of tape onto the back just to hold that in place, and then you could bring your stamps in if you wanted to, so stamp a sentiment in there, but you've got all of that space there to be playing with. So that's from one of the inserts. And then what I've done is taken some of the orange card, and I'm just going to add a little bit more tape around the edge just to stick that down. Look at that colour. It's just screaming summer sunshine to me, that is. And then what I've done is taken some card from the bricks. So this is white card, and what this is actually doing is just going to break up the designs a little bit. Now, if you want to be frugal and you want to save your card, go in and cut out that centre bit, remove it, and you're not going to see it because you're putting things over the top. But of course, as usual, I'm rushing. I'm trying to get things done speedily, so I'm not going to cut that down. There we go. And then next I have got the camper vans. So this is one of those decorative papers that I've cut down to size. And you can see I've cut it so it's actually shorter than the page. And there is a reason for that. We'll just bob that one on there, and then I've got another bit that's going to go across the top. So this is another one of those decorative papers, and this is that lime green. So normally you'd think, oh, lime green and orange, am I a tic-tac? Well, no. This time you can see that lime green is in that flower there, so you can see how beautifully that goes together. So I'm just going to lay that over the top, and then to give that little border so you can't see the step, I've taken some more of the white card and a little strip of that fantastic decorative paper, and that is going to give me a little border. So I'll lay that on there, and then that white card just gives me a little break in between the two of them. So I'll just add that on like that. And then I'm going to stick that one down. Then one of the toppers, so this is that lovely camper van. You knew that this was going to feature, didn't you? Because I love it so much. And again, remember what I said, just take your scissors and snip off those little paper pips, just so they're out of the way. And then add some tape. I'm using white card from the brick again, to make a little mat for that to sit on. And I think I'm going to go a little bit 3D with this. So I've got some 3D foam which I'm just going to cut down, and then we'll bob that onto the back. So you can see how easily these cards are coming together. This is the beauty of having paper kits, when all of the colours are all designed for you, everything's all thought about. because of course we've got crafters designing for crafters, so it does help. And if you're new to crafting, then this is the perfect place to start. I really wish they'd had kits like this when I first started crafting. And of course, as ever, with anything that I'm making to show you how to use the products, if you want to take this design and lift it and copy it, I'm more than happy for you to do that. That's not a problem, because it's nice to have somewhere to start, isn't it? So now I'm just going to add some tape to the back of my die cut topper sentiment. It says especially for you. And again, I'm going to add some more of that 3D foam behind. So we'll just bob that on there. And that one is going to go into the middle around about that. Now I took another one of these, because don't forget you've got 2 of them, and I've cut it out. So I've gone in around and just chopped that down and then peel off the tape that I've put on the back and lay that over the top, so I've got even more dimension. But I thought, do you know what, it needs something. And one of the toppers has got a little dog with some balloons, and I thought, well, the dog and the balloons aren't quite going to fit, or are they? So what I'm going to do to make life easier is snip across and remove the balloons. So now what I can do is go in and cut out our little friend here who's going for his little flight. So, and again, remember, move the card and you get a much smoother finish. If you get bits that are getting in the way, just go in and snip them off, because you don't need them. So we'll go snip. And then I want to keep his little harness, so I'll just cut around that. And then again, I'm just going to come down here, cut around his tail. And then we've just got his little hind leg to snip. So there we go. So he could be flying along, but he needs his balloons. So, because anything that's really thin like that, if you try and cut it out at the same time, if that was still attached, all of a sudden that's getting really wobbly and it gets quite fragile, and that's when you're going to get into trouble. So anything like that, just chop it off and cut it separately, because by the time you stick it back in, no one's going to know anyway. So I'm going to snip up into the centre, so I'm just taking out some of that pink, like so. So there's 2 strings there for the balloons. If I want those balloons shorter, I can, you see, I can just stick them down. So he could actually be just flying along, or he could be atop of the camper and have the balloons like that. But what I actually want to do with him is have him just coming into view. So he's going to be around about there, and the balloons are going to be there. So stick them down separately. I'm going to use some glue gel for this, because I just want him to have a little bit of dimension. So there is the little pooch, and he's just winging his way past that camper, and the balloons, give those a little curve, little bit of glue gel in there, and then you can actually stick those balloon strings down behind. There we go, like so. And that is, I think that's finished. Again, you could add your glitters to it, you could add your gems to it, but I rather like that as it is. So just to recap, thank you again for watching the video. Awfully sorry for those of you who were trying to view this morning. We're not quite sure what was going on, but oh dear. It's just one of those things. We're going to try and sort it out, ready for Wednesday, because we are back on Wednesday next week, which is the 20th of July. We've got some fabulous 4-kilo boxes for you, so please do try and tune in next Wednesday at 11. But all that's left to say is that if you do want to order anything, pop over to the website, creativecraftingworld.co.uk. Have a fabulous weekend. I do hope that you manage to stay cool, because it's going to be hot, hot, hot. And I will see you on Wednesday.